Man, that's a super great question. I say, and I've just created this saying that your longevity is based on your integrity.
Woo! Let me write
Yeah,
that down, sir. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're going to be in this business and hope to progress, you better be honest,
Yeah.
right? You may not have all the answers, but be honest. And when you're dealing with your clients, there's really no shortcuts. You want to build long lasting relationships because that's something that's sustainable. If you're in the industry,
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And you know what I'm going to say probably by now. I am excited to be here today. And I say it all the time, I love what I do. I love when I get a chance to just talk to different perspectives in this industry called real estate. And today's no different. I have somebody that's incredibly knowledgeable at what he does. He can probably talk to you a lot from a property management perspective, but listen, he's gonna talk to you probably about the investor side of it, knowing when to buy and talking about when to really put things out there for the sellers. Like, I think this guy is so knowledgeable, and I am so delighted to introduce you guys to Mr. Michael Morings. Mr. Michael, how you doing
yeah,
today, sir?
I'm wonderful, excellent. Q, how's everything?
Oh man, things is good. Things is even better, man, that you're here because I'm
Thank
excited,
you, thank
man. And that's my word, because it really does. It put a battery in my backpack when I get the chance to listen to people that's just doing things just in a great way, in an ethical way, in an honest way. And I love for our viewers just to be able to peek, see things through your lens, right? And
you. Sure,
so
sure.
man, listen, I want you to take us into your world, man. I want you to tell us what your main focus is these days. If you want to give us
Sure.
a little bit of an origin story, we love origin stories. So you want to tell us kind of like how you got into it, I would love that. But also tell us what markets you're operating in. And so, Mr. Michael, sir, you got the floor, man.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the listening world, once again, I'm Michael Morings of Dynasty Property Management and Sales. We are a property management company located in Charlotte. Our focus is residential and commercial management. We're also investors. We acquire real estate, and our sole mission entering the industry was to acquire wealth. Right? It's one of those things when in the early years, I heard if you want to get rich, get into real estate. Right? But no one has ever explained what does that really mean. And so, of course, I have some stories, right? And I'll be brief. Hearing, if you want to get rich, get into real estate. That's sort of the catch.
Yeah.
And I acquired a real estate license. I joined a firm, and I had great mentors, but it wasn't what I thought, right? I was taught how to do listing agreements, how to work with buyers and all like that, cold calling, but I didn't see any riches in sight,
Mm.
right? And telling my broker, listen, I need something with immediate gratification. Otherwise, I have to shoot back. The 9 to 5 is calling me. I have these little bills and all like that. And so it became very real. And so he pointed to me.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
You're working with a seller or a property owner of real estate, and the fee structure is if you rent their unit, you can get half of the amount as your broker's fee. And then, of course, on monthly collections, you can collect 7 to 10%. And in my mind, it's the law of numbers. I'm like, okay, if I rent out 2 units, okay, I can make $1,000 a month, right? I can, if I collect rents, that's $200. I'm not balling out of control, but it's enough to pay my rent. And so I kept those numbers in my mind. And that was good at it, quite honestly. My broker at the time, which was my mentor, he owned a 30-unit complex. And he assigned me to that complex. And he said, same fee structure. You will be my property manager. I will allow you to collect my rents. If there's a vacancy, you can rent it out. And here's the fee structure. And so just with that 30-unit complex, I was making more than some of the realtors, right?
Yeah.
And it just became, again, immediate gratification. And the turning point was when I remember, I'm young, I'm collecting rent, right? And at the time, you could knock on doors and, a tenant will pay you the rent. I had my receipt book. And I just remember children coming to the door and it's like, hey, mom, the landlord is here, right? And that just excited
hmm
me. The landlord was an important person. And so that always stuck with me, not realizing what building wealth was really about. But again, another turning point was I remember going into my broker's office and I have a pocket full of cash and I'm giving it to him, right? We're going through receipts and he says, well, wouldn't it be good if you could keep the money yourself? And I'm like, man, I know I've been working hard. Is he going to bless me with like, is this a gift? He's like, yeah, no, I have something better. Let me give you some advice. Start buying
Mm,
property. And you can, where you're making 10% on rental collection, perhaps you can scale higher, right? He
mm,
began teaching me about the value of owning real estate, and it just became one of those aha moments,
yeah.
right, where uh, that led me to property management and the desire to own real estate.
Man, I love it. Thank you for the origin story. Thank you for taking us through the journey, man. I love how you said little kid was like, "Hey, the man's here." That just put a battery in your back, and I love it, man. And so now things are up and running. You're successful. I know it hasn't always, especially, been easy in this climate.
Um,
So what are some of the key strategies that kind of keep you running smoothly? That keep that machine that you have running smoothly, sir?
yeah, and I'll tell you, that's a great question because initially, I'll tell you, in property management, the nice guy finishes last, right?
Mm,
And so simply, you need to have your systems in place and that you're qualifying a tenant based on income, based on
mm,
credit, on rental history.
mm,
No sad stories, right? In
mm,
my early career, that I made was, hey, I fell on hard times, but I can pay you. Yeah,
mm.
certainly that eviction, it didn't mean anything. I just, all of the sad stories,
Yeah.
right? And I realized that while you may mean well and you have a job that can help people, your first objective is to do things right and according to a policy and a procedure, right? That will keep you out of trouble. So in
Mm-hmm.
property, I'm responsible for your asset. You're
Mm,
trusting me to improve your value.
mm,
With that, the success of a property management company is how well they vet tenants.
yeah.
And so, to answer your question, policy,
Yeah.
right? Having a written policy on how you will collect rent, a
Yeah.
written policy on how you vet tenants, and sticking to it, right? And improving upon that. Because the success, in closing, the success of any property management company is how well they're able to perform.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
No, I
And
love it.
getting,
I'm sorry. Please consider. I apologize. There was the delay. Sorry about that, Mr. Michael.
yeah, no, I was closing. You know, the value of any asset, again, is how well the tenant performs, right? You can have a beautiful structure, you can have a beautiful building, but if it's not cash flowing, the question is why, right? And then if it's fully occupied, let's say, or halfway, whatever that may be, whatever the occupancy rate, well, if the tenants aren't paying, then we have a problem. Then
Yeah.
you have to look at the property manager. Like, what's happening? Why did you put these people in my unit?
Mm.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's the challenge,
Yeah.
right? You work hard to buy your investment. You call another professional, hey, help me to achieve my goals. I have a mortgage payment and I need my rents to be this amount. Can you find me a tenant? Sure, certainly. Now, of course, property management, it can be more sophisticated in the sense of the savvy investor who's buying apartment complex. And he says, well, look, I'm buying this $5 million apartment complex and I'm buying it at this cap rate. And I need my rents to be this amount. And in 3 years, I need to my exit strategy,
Yeah.
right? Then you're looking at property management in a more sophisticated way. You're looking at line items. You're creating budgets from income to expense. You're looking at leases and how you can increase the rents yearly. And it becomes much more sophisticated. But for, let's say, the average guy, you and me, we own maybe 1 or 2 or 3 properties, right?
Yeah.
And that's the extent of some of our investments, right? Not bad, even still. And even with that, you need a good tenant to pay your rent, to pay that mortgage so you can have residual income.
Mr. Michael, you dropping them gems, sir. I appreciate you giving the perspective. Man, I really love how you said, you have a written policy and procedures on how we're going to do things, because you're right. People are going to come with the stories, man. They're going to come with the sad stories, man. And I guess I kind of want to pivot into that too, about some of them stories. Like, as you grew your business, your successful things are looking great, but there was a journey to success, right? And I like to tell people on this podcast that it's always a journey to success. So there are times when things get real, when things go sideways, when you have to pivot fast. And so, Mr. Mike, I was wondering if there's any stories like that where you can show people you've built something successful, but hey, there was definitely a journey to get into this success. So did you have any moments like that, Mr. Michael?
Let me tell you, um, you know, property management is transient in that you could have 10 owners and you're only as good as the last tenant that you placed. And so, right, you can do 100 things right and one thing wrong, and that can change the entire dynamics of your business.
Yeah.
And so with property management, um, there's cases where we've lost 4 and 5 properties in 1 month. Be detrimental. And it could be nothing that you did it could be a matter of, let's say the tenant really lost their job and you had to evict the tenant, right? I don't know if the owner is going to be very happy about that, right? They may blame you. And this is something that you can have a conversation in terms of, look, we did everything right. We approved them based on income, credit, rental history, everything checked out. They paid 7 months and then they got laid off, right? Well, naturally.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
If I can't collect rent for you, then certainly that puts you in a compromising position and that you may not be able to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, then, you're upset with me. Perhaps you're going to blame me. And guess what? I lose the property management contract.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that happens if I have 100 tenants and 10 tenants fail to pay. I have to go to court 10 times out of the month and file eviction.
Hmm.
That's not very pretty,
Yeah.
right? So this is a situation where an owner may say, you know what, we're going to try ABC management down the street, right? And God forbid if they put in a Google review, they didn't collect my rent. Oh my God.
Hmm.
And these are the things that it's very hard to control. So, I do say though, with the horror story, the reward is greater than the sacrifice. Because even with that, let's say again, out of those 10 owners, suppose they say, Mike, my God, I can't pay my mortgage. I'm having issues. Why don't you buy my property?
Uh-huh.
You see? And so we've taken advantage of those situations where it's like, hey, we know the property, we've done inspections, we know the location, we know how much we can get for rent. Let's run the numbers. What do you need to get out of this headache?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, as real estate professionals, much of our success is in solving the problems of our clients. And so we're solving a problem, and at the same time, we're acquiring real estate, thereby acquiring future wealth
Yeah.
uh, in our industry.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Well, listen, right along those lines, what is the next real goal for you? Like, what are you looking to scale or solve next? Like, what's the real goal, Mr. Michael?
Yeah, that's a great question. I like to say I'm on cruise control, but we're never really on cruise control.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, for me, it's the art of the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love calling realtors. I may see a home on the multiple listing service, and I love calling the realtor, seeing, how I can negotiate, right? So I'm still at it.
Yeah.
Um, there is a podcast that I like called Money and Wealth,
Mm.
and I believe the gentleman is John Hope Bryant or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I just came across his webcast, and interesting enough, he's the largest owner of residential houses in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I think upward 700 houses, and he just sold the company for $120 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he still has like administrative duties or something or another. But uh, hearing stories like that is motivating, right? It just lets you know the possibilities. And so while I own about 22 properties, it's a family owned business, and it's just a matter of continuous growth, right? And we're having fun with it, right? This doesn't seem like work anymore. So
Yeah.
when we say, well, what's next? Uh, you know, just putting these deals together. I have some really good success stories. I have some horror stories, but it becomes your story, you know, as you progress in your industry. And it's just the stick to itness,
Yep.
right? Because I don't know of anyone who is successful that has not a story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you from the property management perspective, oh my God, we can write volumes. I don't think there's a property manager that doesn't have volumes of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, you said my favorite word, stick to itiveness. That is one of my favorite words because you don't hear it that often. So when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I knew I liked this guy. But that's one of my favorite words. And you're right, it takes a level of persistence, consistency, keeping your eye on the prize, to really get into that cruise control mode, right? To get into that mode where things are going the way you intended it, the intentions that you
Right.
made. Yeah, bumps in the roads, of course, but still, your intentions is one thing. And when you are intentionally consistent and persistent, it's no doubt you get to the goals that you want to get to. And so,
Without it.
one thing when I listen to you talk, you're obviously coming in contact with a ton of people. You said the business is family oriented, so I can only imagine that relationships are important to you. And so I want to talk a little bit about relationships. Like when it came to building your relationships and growing your network, what's made the biggest difference for you, Mr. Michael?
Man, that's a super great question. I say, and I just created this saying that your longevity is based on your integrity.
Woo! Let me write
Yeah,
that down, sir. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, if you're going to be in this business and hope to progress, you better be honest,
Yeah.
right? You better, you may not have all the answers, but be honest. And when you're dealing with your clients, you know, there's really no shortcuts. You know, you want to build long lasting relationships because that's something that's sustainable. If you're in the industry, those who you're working with, you want good, um, good and fair play. That's what I say, right?
Yeah.
I have a thing called palms up
Mm,
my dealings. If we're doing a deal together, whether I'm with an investor, whether I'm with a client, it's like, look, when I tell you something, you better believe that's what it is.
mm,
Palms up, right? I'm
mm.
not going to try to take advantage of a situation. I'm not going to deal and I can benefit more than you because I have a side deal. And I'm speaking to like the wholesalers when I think of this,
Yeah.
right? No,
Yeah.
shout out to my wholesalers. I love you all. But every person really every real estate professional in every industry, you know, when you have a palms up kind of philosophy where what I tell you can be proven and here is the, you know, here is what I'm showing you, this is what I live on. I sleep well at night,
Yeah.
you know. And my takeaway on that, and I say this boldly, there is not one investor, not one person in the city of Charlotte that can say, yeah, there was some mismanagement. Yeah, you know, we
Mm,
did this deal together, but I'm a little uncertain about how, you know, you're not gonna, no one can say that. And so I pride myself on that and I say it boldly in terms of being a business owner. The integrity of what you do has to stand out first.
yeah. Mm,
Relationships are built on trust.
mm, mm,
Yeah, built
mm,
trust. And so
mm,
even and I'll close on this. So we have a family business, you know, as I said, my brother, my sister, my daughter. And it's interesting because all throughout the day we're talking about the business and then we deprogram, right? On the
yeah.
weekends, it's like all go out to eat and we're not talking about anything about business. And so that's the balance also. Success is not just about making money. It's about being there for your family and strengthening ties and the beauty of building something together.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you you said so much in closing, right? Your longevity is based on your integrity. Palms up, right? I have nothing to hide. Like I am coming to you with total integrity. Even when you talked about success and how it looks different for each person, you know, your presence is a present in itself. Your presence, you being there with your family, you being there for the things that matter, is a presence in itself, and that's success in itself. And so, I mean, you said so many great gems, and man, I thank you so much, man. I love your perspective, love your mindset. And so, listen, man, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate, learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you, sir?
Right. Can I give out my personal telephone
You
number?
sure can. Yes, sir.
Okay. 704-779-4632. And I always like to leave something to the young professional, right, who may be uncertain and you're hearing, just as I heard, if you want to get rich in the real estate, you know, perhaps I can, and there's no fees. I don't charge anything. I don't have any classes. I don't do any of that. You know, property management may be a great field for you to enter. And
Mm,
it really has helped me to scale. It's really helped me to hone in skills and just even talking to clients because I have some clients that are millionaires, and their circles are much different from the circles that I came up in,
mm,
right? Having to deal with them in the early years were a bit intimidating, right? I'm dealing with lawyers, doctors, I'm dealing with federal judges now. I'm dealing with people with the wherewithal and the intellect and the foresight of community and family. And so these conversations become different over time. And so it's it's a it's an area by which you are forced to grow.
Mm, mm.
You see, I had to step up my game, where I thought that I had a sense of intellect. It wasn't until I met the professors and the architects and the other professionals who really are proficient in what they do. It makes you to step up, right? And so just imagine in my early 20s and my early 30s, and I'm meeting, these really heavyweight investors and professionals, and they're asking me, well, how are you going to increase my portfolio?
Mm.
I need a percent rate of return. Ooh. You know, it's like sink or swim, right? You said you wanted to be here. Now you have to pay your dues. You have to educate yourself so that you can have these conversations and be in these rooms.
Yeah.
And that's part of growth too, right? And so
Mhm.
again, everyone has their versions of what success looks like. For me, it was always a matter of challenging myself and, stepping up to the plate, right? And just being active. And you don't have to be perfect. No one said that you had to be perfect. You just have to just get up and start.
Listen, drop the mic moment. Listen, Mr. Michael, sir, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your perspective. Thank you for your time. I know our viewers got a ton of value out of this conversation. So, Mr. Michael, thank you
So
so much for being here, man. I appreciate you, sir.
salute to you, man. Your questions were incredible. Your smile is contagious, brother. You got an aura that is just very welcoming. And you have a light that we
Mm.
thank you for that.
I appreciate that, man. That means and a lot. I have been intentional about making sure that I connect with people in the best possible way, and so I appreciate you saying that. I really, really do. That means a lot.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all heard Mr. Michael Morings. Y'all got the value. He done came in and dropped nuggets. And so all I ask that you subscribe. You do not want to miss out on these amazing guests that we continue to have day after day. And so just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you can just come in when the alert goes off. Mr. Michael, I appreciate you again, sir. And listen to everyone else. We will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.